Hey there everyone, welcome to Comic Essay. My name is Sean, and today we're going to be looking at Spider-Man Miles Morales Volume 1. So I think I'm going to split up the volumes into two parts, just because it's a lot. So, please do watch the previous video that I put up about basically just an intro to Spider-Man Miles Morales, how he ends up in the main Marvel universe, and so on. And yeah, cool. Now, Spider-Man Miles Morales, let's get into it, alright? Spider-Man, okay, let's just say, Miles Morales is a very interesting character. Because unlike Peter Parker, when I first started reading this, unlike Peter Parker was a genius. A very clever young lad, and Miles Morales is also pretty smart, but he has to work hard. He has to work hard at school. So the school that he is at is a good school. The only thing is, after getting spider powers, school doesn't go that well, right? So things don't go that well. Why? Because he's not going to school. He's actually not going to class. He's dipping out in class. He's leaving unannounced. And the problem with this is that now it's reflecting that. Now it's reflecting on report cards, it's reflecting to his parents, it's reflecting to his mother. So there's a whole instance of his mother shouting at him over the phone, saying he better get his act together, what's going on. Now, his father, though, is a little more chilled, and we'll understand a bit later why, because he has his own secrets, and he also knows that Miles is Spider-Man. So he's very understanding in terms of, like, I know why he isn't doing well. It's because he hasn't really found that balance between real life and superhero life. So what happens is that the situation obviously pushes Miles Morales' mother to call her mother his grandmother. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this woman irritates the crap out of me. She pisses me off so much. And I got more irritated at Miles's mom, because she, like, it was so irrational. The whole point is just like, his grandmother's really strict. She takes away his phone and all this crap. But obviously, like, now what happens is that we're seeing him... while that is going on, basically we're seeing him dip out of class and head to a situation once again. The situation has to do with this guy called Blackheart, alright? Blackheart, not very important. He claims to be the son of Mephisto. Mephisto, also another villain I really don't want to get into. Maybe one day. But he isn't. He's just here. He's just here for... to establish the theme here. So there's a theme constantly ongoing, and that is like, Miles is very unsure of himself. He is very unsure of himself right now, at the point where, like, should I be doing the Spider-Man thing? You know, am I really even accepted? Which you'll see, he's not even really accepted, right? He seems to get as he's battling, it seems like Mephisto seems to have knocked down Iron Man, Thor, She-Hulk, Captain America, Sam Wilson. So the situation looks very dire. So Miles goes ahead, and obviously he sees the situation. He goes in and he starts fighting Mephisto. Now Miles has a bit his spider powers deviate a bit more. He's able to go invisible, and he's also able to do like a venom blast from his which paralyzes his opponents through his fingers. He does this through his fingertips. So he does this, and obviously he's able to overcome Mephisto pretty easily, and Mephisto basically disappears for a while and then comes back, and then Miles has to take him out. So then he takes him out eventually. Anyway, so now the thing here is that Peter Parker shows up. Peter Parker, Spider-Man, shows up, right? And he's obviously asking, like, what's going on, all right? So he needs to... A quick concept here. Miles, I think when Peter Parker shows up to the scene, after this whole Blackheart situation, we're starting to realize Miles Morales has to come into his own as Spider-Man. He still needs to come into his own. Like, we see the policemen are even unaware of who he is. necessarily it's Sam Wilson, Captain America, that defends him and says, nah, he's good, he's with us, he's an Avenger. But Spider-Man coming in as an older brother, being a lot more older and a lot more wiser, I would assume he's there to guide Miles. I mean, now this is a relationship that Miles holds very dearly. You know, he reminds Peter, because Peter has his doubts about Miles, and Miles is like, but dude, you gave me like approval to be Spider-Man. Remember this conversation, you know, don't take this away from me, you know. And obviously, Miles has a lot of anxiety as well about being Spider-Man, you know. And he needs this guidance basically from Peter Parker. Obviously, once he sorts out the whole thing about Blackheart, Peter Parker, yes, a lot more support, says, you know what, maybe I wasn't wrong or whatever. There was even a dumb joke about how he needs to trademark his saying, with great power comes great responsibility and all that crap. All right. Now, what happens is that during his fight, obviously people are catching this fight with Blackheart and Miles Morales on video, and they're posting up on YouTube, and then there's this fangirl that goes crazy. We'll get into her character a bit later, but she goes crazy. She's like, oh my gosh, I'm such a big Spider-Man fan. And obviously now it's a way more it's a way more heated. Why? Because this is important. It's important because the video shows rips in Miles's Spider-Man suit, and everyone can see the color that he is, and the color that he's either Hispanic or black or something like that. And this is a very important part, because it's going to get into, when we get into like volume 2 of Miles Morales, his race is constantly played on. And I love it's Brian Michael Bendis. Wow. Okay, yeah, that guy left Marvel now though. But it's Brian Michael. What is he taking over? Sorry. Sidetrack. I got sidetracked. I think he's taking over issue 1000 of Action Comics at DC. But anyway, okay, cool. So what I think, so what's happening is, like, when Brian Michael Bendis goes through this, right? He's goes through this with Spider-Man. The race part of Spider-Man is very important. All right, and now I'll do a whole other video about diversity and so on, and how awesome I think it is, or unawesome I think it is. But yeah, anyway, it's a big thing. Imagine, like, people are going crazy on the internet, like, wow, this guy, he's white. He's not white. So anyway, Miles isn't doing great with after this whole charade and escapade. He isn't doing really great with his grandmother. As I said, his phone gets taken away. He gets grounded. Now, I cannot help to compare, as I'm bringing this slowly to a conclusion, I cannot help to compare Peter Parker a lot to Miles. I think it's a different take on a superhero, especially on a Spider-Man character. I mean, because I'm used to seeing Spider-Man just be okay. Yes, money was always a rough thing, and I think they're moving towards that with Peter Parker now. But like with Miles, I feel like there's so much uncertainty about him, and also I can relate a whole lot more if you're not doing well at school. I mean, I didn't really do exceptionally well at school. I don't think a lot of people I know did exceptionally well. You know, very like we're not talking about the Tony Starks, the the Bruce Banners and the Peter Parkers of the world. We're not talking about geniuses here. We're talking about regular kids, and he's a regular kid. He needs to study. He needs to get work done. And so that's why I'm really liking his character, because I'm finding a lot more of myself in him. I'm a lot older now, you know. I'm not in university or in high school or anything like that anymore. But yeah, so cool. Watch out for the next video. Hopefully I'll be able to wrap up volume 1 in the next one. Cool. Please subscribe to my Patreon page, become a patron, and like and subscribe on YouTube, please, definitely with that. And I'll catch y'all later. Cheers.